Another day, another bag. The Peakdesign Everyday Sling 3L, 5L version 1, and now I've got the 6L as well. I just couldn't help myself. Bagaholic, gas, whatever you call it. We'll go over the strap size. The straps of the 3 and 5L are fairly similar. They offer a different design, however the actual padding is very similar. The padding on the 6L, on the other hand, is a lot more substantial. It's much more thick and it feels great. The dividers. With the 3L, you had one divider and it has a shelf system. With the 5L and the 6L, both of those offer two dividers. And on top of that, they have a magnetic clasp in the back so you can put an iPad or documents, or you can just put spare dividers in the back. With the 6L, you actually get two of these shelf dividers, and that can be a positive or a negative. The positive is that you can stack more gear in here. However, the negative is that this divider is actually thicker than the single divider, the thinner version. And what happens is when you stuff this bag with too much gear, which you will do, I mean, it's just a natural tendency, the added thickness does take away from some of the space. It may not seem like much, but in the bag this tight, it becomes sort of a negative for me. So I typically only use one divider, and that's my way of getting around it. All three bags offer a front pocket that's fairly unusable. The 5L I have here with a bunch of gear, and it's very thin. You may be able to add a remote, some wipes, very basic items in there. The 6L is much more deeper and wider. However, it suffers from the same problem. When you add too much stuff in there, the gear is already pushing out and it's very thin. However, you can add a lot of just really flat items and that will work out fine. Okay, so how much gear can you fit in here? With the 3L, I've tested it to work with the A7 III with 17 to 28 zoom and 85 f1.8. Just to get you an idea, 85 1.8 is about this large. Fits into the 3L along with camera and an additional lens. It is a fairly tight fit. It's not too bad and you can do it. It works fine. With the 5L and the 3L, those are slightly bigger bags. If you're going to bring a more substantial kit, like a 28 to 75 and a 17 to 28, I would recommend these bags. Okay, so the advantage of the 6L is that it has this bottom buckle system similar to the 3L. And so you can add a tripod to it, a mini tripod at least, or you could add a gimbal if you strap it up right. That all works great. So the additional outside the bag attachment means you can bring a lot more stuff with you. And here I am, I have a fitted camera and lens. It's one of my larger filmmaking kits. It doesn't fit into the 5L. I'll show you the gear in a second. I have the 5L loaded with some fairly large lenses and I can't get it to fit. So just to get you an idea, I'll take out the whole kit right now. I have the Contax Zeiss 100 to 300. It's a landscape lens. And I have the 24 to 240 with mic on an A9. Typically I wouldn't bring this combo to film with. It's not really meant for filming. But this lens I do use for filming. It works great, the 24 to 240, especially when you have good light. So this is a very large combo and it can fit into the 6L. The additional leader, that's what you're paying for. It just helps get your extra large items in easier. There you go. This kit is using that extra leader, every single bit of it. It's a tight fit. If it's on your body, it zips a lot easier. I have it on the table, so you can't really see how easily it zips. And like the 3-liter bag, this one does not have that safety mechanism that you can find in the 5L, where you have this ability to strap to yourself. This safety strap, oh, I strapped it to the wrong side. But this safety strap, you get the idea. You can strap it to yourself. It makes it tougher for thieves to open your bag because it's strapped to itself. We'll take a brief look at how the new buckle system works. Yank it. So you carry your tripod in this area. It doesn't come loose. It's tightly connected. That's a pro and a con, because now if you're trying to open it, it's a little bit of work to get it open. So if you don't like to use this extra strap, you can go without it, and the bag looks great either way. I did a modification to my own system. I use these Optech connectors, which I have from my previous DSLR days. And on top of that, I have an extra Peak mounting point for additional security. So the way this works, if I'm running and gunning, I may have a mini tripod set up with the rig that I may not want to detach. The first thing, I get it to my Peak point. Second is the Optech Now we'll take a look at how this lens looks like on your body. This is the Peakdesign 6L bag. This is how it looks like on your back. This is how it looks like on your waist. I'm not sure if I'll ever use this on my waist. It seems a tad too large, but never say never. For reference, this is the Peakdesign 5L. And lastly, here's the Peakdesign 3L. And I'll show you how this thing works in practice. And that's it. I'm ready to go filming. Nice and easy. And here's the 3L as a waist pack. So between the 3 bags, if I could only have one, the Peak 3L would be it, without a doubt. This will be my main bag. The other 2, they're slightly too big. And I know that being slightly too big, I have a tendency to stuff them with too much gear. So the A9 with the 17 and 28 and 85, or the 24 G Master and 85, that's my go-to set. I'm gonna keep it simple. All around great bags. If you want one, don't hesitate to get the new designs. And if you don't care for the bottom attachment system, the 5L is fantastic as well, and you can get them at bargain prices. So I hope the video was helpful. My wife's not gonna be happy when she finds out about all this gear, but I sure am. And if you found the video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.